Ran off on the too like true goy. Imagine me do, boy. You could never do what I do, boy. Still ducking that I did, boy.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On the left side, it's McDonald. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. So our turned 30 back in July. He's been nagged a little bit by a quad injury, but they think he'll be perfectly fine by game 1.
Yeah, they're not worried about him at all. He understands his body very well. They'll bring him along slowly because the production has been off the charts throughout his career. I just love the way he shows up at camp every year. 2 years ago, comes in a Rolls Royce. How about this year? Helicopter. Cannot wait to see 2019. Private jet? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Can he navigate a boat through the 3 rivers? I don't know. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Close to his right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A screen to Bell, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, and they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Throwing is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Off the play fake, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long for Cousins. Going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, hey, we got to get in the AFC Week 1 talk. We talked about the NFC and what to look forward to on their schedule, but there's some great AFC games as well.
And many people believe the AFC West is as good a division as there is in the NFL. How about this for an opener? Kansas City Chiefs headed to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, the new quarterback for KC, has to deal with the pass rush of Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram of the Los Angeles Chargers. And a second one that catches my eye is Houston at New England. The Texans always trying to measure themselves against the Patriots. Now they get back Deshaun Watson, they get back J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, and they take on the defending AFC champs in Foxborough.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. So they have the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. T.J. Watt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. With it is Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go, let's go.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Eluding the pressure right. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sherrills. Nifty move. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Cousins now on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon. Diggs taking it in, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Forbath, the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Escaping the pressure right. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Flushed out right. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Cousins now to throw on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, hey, switching gears for a second, halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
Just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boon for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution, struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of coming together with another team, 2 joint practices before a preseason game, becoming more and more widespread, and you're getting a lot of really good competition and practice with the best versus the best from each team.
Let's go, let's go.
Cousins on first down. He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Forbath out to kick this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, It just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Linval Joseph continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. And James has it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, CD, in a couple of weeks we can make our Super Bowl predictions. But for right now, I want to get your AFC Division Champion predictions. Who do you have?
All right, let's start in the AFC East. It's New England. Do we need to say any more?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a challenger behind them in that division right now.
That tends to cover it. Miami believes that they can be. Buffalo will be starting over with a new quarterback. So will the Jets.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. He's good. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They run again on 1st down. Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second down, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go. Black.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They run it for the first time to the backup Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw, Cousins. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 47 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, pal?
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. Forced out to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
All right, now here we go. Let's go.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They keep it on the ground, and this time it's Murray. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They go with Murray again, and an alley to run. And down inside the 15 he goes. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it.